Section 9.1.13. Determine the point estimate of the population proportion, the margin of error for the following confidence interval, and the number of individuals in the sample with a specified characteristic x for the sample size provided. So we have the lower bound, which is 0.703. We're given that the sample size n is equal to 1200. Now for confidence interval estimates for the population mean are of the form below. We take the point estimate and plus the margin of error, and then also minus the margin of error. Okay, so since we know that if we're given the upper and lower bound, okay, so the upper bound, we're going to call that u as upper bound, okay, that's equal to the point estimate plus the margin of error. And the lower bound is equal to the point estimate minus the margin of error. Okay, and then there are two other formulas. So in order for us to find the point estimate is equal to the upper bound plus the lower bound, and then dividing that by 2. And in order to find the margin of error is equal to the upper bound minus the lower bound, and then dividing that by 2. So what we can do is we can then find out what is the point estimate and the margin of error with the given information. So we have the point estimate is going to be the upper bound, which is 0.917, plus the lower bound, which is 0.703, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So therefore the point estimate is going to be 0.810. And then when we want to find the margin of error, it's going to equal the upper bound, which is 0.917, and then subtract the lower bound, which is 0.703, and then we're going to divide that by 2. And so therefore the margin of error is going to equal the following. It's going to equal 0.107. So now we figured out what the point estimate is and what is the margin of error. So far we were able to find the population proportion, we were find the margin of error. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to be able to find x, the specific characteristic x. So in order to do that, let's take a look at the formula for the point estimate. The point estimate was equal to x divided by n. Okay, where we know that the point estimate that we found is 0.810, and we know that the sample size it's given is 1200. Okay, so if we want to solve for x, then we would have to multiply both sides by n. So that x is going to equal n times the point estimate. So therefore, to find x, we're going to take 1200, and we're going to multiply it by the point estimate of 0.810. Okay, so if we multiply those two together, then x is going to equal 972. So therefore, there is the value of x. We have our margin of error, and then we have our point estimate. So therefore, we can say that the point estimate of the population proportion is 0.810, the margin of error is 0.107, and the number of individuals in the sample with a specified characteristic is 972.